Since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913, the United States dollar has lost over 96% of its purchasing power. We are told this is natural. We are told that inflation is a sign of a healthy, growing economy, a necessary lubricant for the gears of commerce. But if you look closely at the math, you find a paradox. Technology is deflationary. It makes things cheaper. It costs drastically less to manufacture a shirt, grow a bushel of corn, or send a message today than it did 50 years ago. Innovation should be driving prices down. So why is life getting more expensive? Why does a single income no longer support a family? The answer isn't corporate greed, and it isn't bad luck. The answer is that the money itself is broken. Inflation is not an accident. It is a policy. It is the most efficient tax ever created because it is the only tax you never voted for and the only tax you don't see until you reach for your wallet. To understand the theft, we have to visit the crime scene, August 15th, 1971, the day the United States suspended the convertibility of the dollar into gold. Before this moment, money was a certificate, a claim on a physical asset that limited how much the government could spend. After this moment, money became fiat, a Latin word meaning "let it be done." It became a currency backed by nothing but confidence. This gave the state a superpower, the ability to create purchasing power out of thin air. Imagine a pot of soup that has to feed a village. If the cook pours 5 gallons of water into the pot, there is technically more soup to go around. Everyone's bowl looks fuller. But the nutritional value, the sustenance, has been diluted. You now have to eat 2 bowls to get the energy of 1. This is exactly what happens when a central bank prints money. They inject cash into the system, but they do not inject new goods, new services, or new resources. More dollars are now chasing the same amount of stuff. The result is a mathematical certainty. Every dollar you save from your past labor is suddenly worth less. But here's the secret they don't teach in school. Inflation does not hit everyone at the same time. It has a flow. This is known as the Cantillon effect, named after the 18th century economist Richard Cantillon. He realized that who gets the new money first matters. When the Federal Reserve creates trillions of dollars, they don't drop it from helicopters into your backyard. They buy bonds from major banks and financial institutions. The banks get the money first. They use it to speculate. They buy stocks, they buy real estate, they buy gold. All at yesterday's prices. By the time that new money trickles down to the working class, through wages or government checks, the prices of assets and goods have already risen. You are receiving the diluted soup. The elite steal the value, and the working class is left holding the bag. This explains the great decoupling. For decades, American workers have become more productive, yet their purchasing power has stagnated. The gains of that productivity weren't lost. They were siphoned off. The currency itself was weaponized to transfer wealth from the earner to the printer. Why would a government do this? Why destroy the purchasing power of its own people? The answer is simple: debt. As we discussed in our previous video, the world is drowning in debt. The US government owes nearly $40 trillion. If they tried to pay that back through honest taxation, every citizen would be taxed into poverty and the politicians would be removed from office. So they choose the invisible option. Inflation is a way for the government to default on its debt without declaring bankruptcy. Think about it. If the government owes $1 trillion and they inflate the currency by 10%, they have effectively wiped out $100 billion of real debt obligation. They pay back their bondholders, which includes your pension fund, with money that is worth less than when they borrowed it. This creates a world where saving money is a losing strategy. For thousands of years, saving was a virtue. If you put a gold coin under your mattress in 1900, it bought a suit. In 2000, it still bought a suit. Today, if you store cash, you are bleeding wealth. This forces society onto a financial treadmill. You can no longer just work and save. You are forced to become a speculator. You must gamble in the stock market just to preserve what you earned. This is why the housing market feels broken. Houses are no longer just homes. They are stores of value. Investors, fleeing the melting dollar, pour their cash into real estate. This bids up the price of shelter, pushing homeownership out of reach for the average family. The very money you earn is being used to bid against you. We have replaced an economy of production with an economy of finance. We celebrate when the stock market goes up, ignoring that it is often rising only because the denominator, the dollar, is collapsing. It is an illusion of prosperity built on a foundation of sand. So where does it end? History is merciless on this point. Every fiat currency in the history of the world, from the Roman denarius to the Weimar mark, has eventually returned to its intrinsic value: zero. The system relies entirely on confidence, the confidence that the soup hasn't been watered down too much. But as the debt grows, the printing must accelerate, and eventually the people realize they are starving. The hidden tax is not just about paying more for milk, it is about the theft of your time. When they devalue the currency, they devalue the hours of your life you traded for it. It is a claim on your past labor, erased by a keystroke in the present. The system is designed to strip you of your savings, but it cannot strip you of your understanding. To survive the dilution, you must understand the game. You must stop storing your energy in their leaking battery. If you want to know how the rest of this story plays out, hit subscribe. History has the answers. I'll show you where to look.